Oh shit, you do see him. Wow. Bam, we're live. Bam, we're live. Bam, we're live. Bam, bam, we're live. Bam, we're live with Andre Houdet. Bam, we're live.
Hey.
Hey guys.
What's up, dude?
What's up, man?
Thanks
Did
for
you
having
pass
me.
the drug test?
I hope so. I just came out of it. Last man standing.
Oh, why so long? Why so many hours?
Because I'm a gentleman. I let all the other ones pass first.
Oh, I think it was they went by penis size. They started at the smallest.
Hey.
Hopefully. No. But it went fine.
Where are you right now? Are you outside the venue?
Yeah, I literally just exited.
And is there anyone around you? Any friends or family?
Well, I'm going to a celebration dinner that I'm a bit late for.
Don't worry, they won't start without you. You are the celebration.
So yeah, I'm going to meet a lot of friends who came to support me.
Isn't it crazy? We just watched you for a whole weekend kicking ass, being a superstar on our TV sets all around the world. And at the end of the day, you had to pee in front of a cup. And when you're done, there's no one out there waiting for you.
Well, they are waiting pretty close by. But yeah, it was a little bit anticlimax to sit there for 4 hours and waiting.
It's a lonely and cold world at the top.
Yeah, but there was a lot of other athletes. Like, they really drug tested a lot. I think we were 28 athletes drug tested.
Oh, everyone knows that you guys aren't really drug testing, and the drug testing at CrossFit HQ is a complete joke. I'm joking, Andre. I
have
know
no clue.
It's very serious. I'm just making
Everyone's
fun
got their
of Hiller
Wizinator.
because Hiller wears a tinfoil hat. Because Hiller's like,
Do you know what the Wizinator is, Sevan?
Oh, yeah, it's a fake cock.
the fake penis.
Fake cock. Yeah, you
Well,
fill it with someone
Sevan
else's
has
urine.
one, but it's not a Wizinator. It's just it's the one that doesn't whiz. It's just a fake cock.
Just a dildo.
Welcome to the show, Andre.
Andre, do you remember the weekend? Do you remember Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
Yeah, I remember everything.
Awesome. So here we go. How old are you?
I am 28.
And this is your how many trips have you made to the game? Is this your second trip?
It's my second trip as an individual, but I qualified through a team in 220. So it would essentially be my third if COVID wouldn't have happened, but second individual.
And in your background, is it Olympic lifting?
No, it's in American football where we never did any Olympic lifting, but I guess it just, I've had some pretty good coaching on that, luckily.
And what do you it's more than coaching. You're such a beautiful mover. When people talk about the best lifters in our space, it's always, Guy and yourself, your names that come up. What is it about those lifts? Do you love them? And why do you think you move so well?
I don't know. I think maybe I've always had a narrative where it's like the other guys are fitter than me and better than me and stronger than me and all these kind of things. So I always kind of told myself I needed to be better at them than moving, and I needed to be, I don't know, like just have that intangible, which is moving well, and really just trying to maximize that so that I could compensate for perhaps lack of genetic strength and size.
Is that that lift that Matt just showed us? Is that on the second floor?
No, that's on the first floor. I live in a countryside house where we have like the house is kind of split into three somehow. It's all connected, but it's like three parts. It's a typical countryside home, and one of the kind of lengths of the house is just one big gym, which is like 150 square meters.
Susan, can you pull up the finishes for this weekend? When were you the most nervous? When were you like, like did doubts creep into your brain? Like I may have shut the door on myself.
Yeah, for sure. After the first event, I finished 19th, and that was a bit of a shocker. I thought I was gonna do better because it went as good as I had imagined, and it went to the plan that I had planned for. And I was the last one off the runner, the last one off the rower, the last one off the double unders, and pretty much the last one off the runner again in the end. And that kind of made me doubt a little bit my training. I coached myself and have been for the past like almost 3 years. So and I trained by myself in the middle of nowhere in the countryside all year long. So that was a little bit tough because in 2018 was when I was at regionals. It was 333 that was my worst event. So I really had hoped to to kind of make a statement for myself and show that I've been working on it, but clearly I had not been working enough on it. And so that was a little bit of a tough start to the weekend, but I'm happy I just stayed in my zone, and I kept pushing and ended strong.
When you took, go ahead. Was someone going to ask something?
Yeah, I was going to ask, do you think it's the running, or is it just the longer time domain in general for you?
I think it's the longer time domain. I think genetically, perhaps I'm more like a power athlete, even though I really don't look like it. But perhaps because American football is my background sport, perhaps the training we've been doing in the off season has been more just power output based, and I have never really been, the guy who does long runs and those kind of things. But I've been working on it a lot, but not enough. And I think that just also tells me that I need to outsource coaching for that section to someone who really knows what they're doing, perhaps more than me, and so I can get some help.
Go ahead, Taylor. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I was nervous for you too after the first event. Actually, on one of the earlier shows, I was worried about a couple of these other workouts after that, but it was pretty surprising, especially seeing you on the legless, or not the legless workout, the Echo Bike Burpee workout.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised too. I'm not going to lie.
On the second workout, you end up taking 8th place, and so that wraps up day one. Does 8th give you when you got that 8th and you go to home that night and you're in bed? Is your confidence back up a little bit, or are you still shaking?
Yeah, I think it was back up. I mean, I think I'm a very methodical guy, and I really just try to stick to my plans. I have a little black book with all my notes and game plans, and I promised myself before this weekend that regardless of where I placed in each of the events, that I would just stick to my plan and trust my paces and strategies, because I don't have anyone that I train with, so I'm always by myself. So I kind of have to just focus on what I can do, and because I never really have anything to compare with. But yeah, I wasn't like feeling great after day one. I was a bit doubting maybe the work I'd put in, even though I felt the preparations for this competition had been better than pretty much anything I'd ever done. And I've been super focused, no social media, no posting for whatever 20 plus days, and just really try to do all the small things.
What do you do out there? What's your gig out there? Out in the country?
I'm a coach. I have a company called No Shortcuts Training, where we provide online coaching similar to, a lot of people like Mayhem and Fraser's Hard Work Pays Off and those kind of programs. So it's a generic training program where there's 3 different options based on the time available for the athletes. And we have a pretty big community here in Europe. And so that's what I live off.
Can you pull that up, Susan? No Shortcuts Training. And are you the founder, creator of that?
Yeah. I actually coached before I started like pursuing my athletic career, and I really love coaching. So when I'm done competing one day, then that's what I'm gonna do full time. So I dream to be in the space for forever.
Andre, that's interesting, because I was wondering what you have for accountability and responsibility. And I guess you have your community, right? You might not have a coach, you might not have someone right next to you, but you have your community. And I bet you feel some pressure from that. You don't want to let them down.
Yeah, there's always, when you coach yourself, I think people have expectations that if I don't do better each year, then maybe my programming is not working. And so, I mean, maybe I put that pressure on myself, but I think there's just an expectation of, you have to prove that your service or your programming works. So I was just happy to see that, it did work this year again.
As you finished the last workout, and did you know you'd made it?
Yeah. I was really surprised that I was ahead on the stations. The strategy had paid off, so I just kind of paced. Even though my body was dying, I felt like my mind was pretty clear throughout the workout, so that I could have an overview over where the other guys were, and I just needed to do just enough to make sure I finished first in that event.
Do you have any criticism for him, Hiller? Do you hate his coach?
Yeah, he's got the worst coach I've ever seen. Well, no, I wanted to know what you think you could have hit on that complex, because I have a feeling you cut yourself off because you took the victory. Am I right? Or no? That's about it.
Yeah, I don't know how much heavier I could go. I definitely if I had another attempt, I think I would put 155 on.
Which would be
so that would be
42.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I don't have in my training, I've never done a lot of complexes, so I didn't really have an idea. So I estimated based on what I saw in the other regions, and I didn't want to play too risky, especially after a poor day one. So I needed to get a secure lift on that one, and 150 felt really good. So I was happy with that. And I was also in the second heat. I wasn't in the final heat, which then made me.
You cut out.
We lost his audio. Oh, he muted himself on accident.
I think you muted yourself. Come back.
You muted yourself on Andre Houdet. You have to push the mute button. Do you see it? I can't unmute you. I try. Oh. Close. You unmuted yourself for a second and then remuted.
That's a good word, remuted.
Just touch it very gently.
And then touch it harder. And then
caress it, Andre.
Softer.
Can you just barely touch? Oh, I can't unmute him.
Yeah, I tried to as well.
He has to do it himself.
Yep.
You just barely have to touch the button, Andre. Do you see the mute button? You did it once. You figured it out once.
He's his own coach. He has to figure it out on his own, all right?
Cool dude. That's the first time I've talked to him. What a cool.
He just left like that?
Oh. No, here he goes.
He's back.
He's back.
Yeah, sorry about that. Somebody just called me.
That's a Are you at the restaurant where your friends and family are?
Yeah, actually I am.
Okay. Final question.
Hi. Yes, thank you.
When will you come to this? When will you come to the States? Sorry, not final question. When will you come to the States?
That's gonna be last minute because my wife is giving birth.
Congrats.
Like 1 week before, so it's gonna be a bit tight. But
Father Andre.
Let's see.
All right, brother. Hey, great meeting you. I really appreciate your time. I really, really appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks a lot for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll be in touch.
Have fun.
Thank you. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Take care, man.
Hey, Taylor, is that real? What he said, he got off social media for 20 days as part of his, discipline to build up, he uses that as part of his proof that hey, I'm taking this seriously. Is social media that big of a distraction for some of these athletes?
Fuck yeah, it is.
I think for some people it's a big distraction.
What does that look like? They're on the assault bike, and instead of warming up, they're fucking looking at their phones, doing their social media.
Taylor, I'm sure you know the people out there that come to mind when you think of they're doing a workout and they're almost more considering where their camera's facing their workout than their actual workout.
That's a good point. I didn't even think about that because I never film myself when I'm training. And my coach actually is like, "Hey, can we get some stuff on video?" I'm like, "Yeah." I didn't even think about that. I was thinking more of what Sevan says.
You feel like you need to get back to your peeps.
They finish a workout and they're just fucking on their phone scrolling. And I'm like, dude, would you hang out?
On the flip side, I know athletes that'll record movements of their workout after they've done their workout. So let's say they were doing Ferran, they would do Ferran, and then they would record some thrusters and pull-ups afterwards and say, "Hey, look at me doing Ferran." It's like that.
That's better. Yeah. That sounds smarter.
Yeah,
but it's also
smarter.
It's a love-hate relationship because they got to build their brand. They need to have noticed. They need to have a following, but at the same time, they need to get their job done. So it'd be easy to get sucked into that if you're always worried about making content and everything else versus your training. So I actually like the finish and then just do a few movements for something for content. It's compartmentalizing it almost.
On it, but it makes a lot more sense if you.
It does, yeah.
Fuck you. If you want to see me do thrusters, you're gonna have to see them non-authentic thrusters.
You gotta subscribe to Sevan's paywall on his Instagram profile. It's $5 a month.
Just turn it off for 20 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah. There's, you have followers, you have fans.
I just read that.
Yeah. Sevan, you stated that Medicare was free for everyone. That didn't make sense. This has never happened in my career in medicine America. I apologize. It's absolutely free. Anyone can go into a hospital anywhere, anytime and get treatment. I don't know what you don't understand about that. And it's always been like that. And it's only recently, since they passed Obamacare, that poor people have to pay for it. And let's not speak in misnomers. Nothing's ever been free. Nothing is free. That's fuckery. That's word fuckery. And I apologize if I use the word free, and thank you for calling me on it. And the second thing, my main point is that health insurance is a misnomer. It's what people who have assets get in the United States to protect their assets, so that if they do fucking get hit by a car or something and they need a fucking heart transplant, they would get it. It would be covered by our government. But if you have a house, they'll come take your fucking house. That's all I'm saying. And it's the same thing in fucking every country. They just guise it as something different. Not every country, but the good countries. What do I mean by the good countries? Where you don't die from a bee sting, where your kid doesn't die from a bee sting. That's a good fucking country. That's what I'm saying.
Anthony Andrews, a homeless person.
And let's not also forget that in this country, the United States, I can't speak for the other countries. It's probably not like this in the great country of Sweden or Switzerland, but in this country, 86% of that healthcare expenditure is people who are complicit in their demise. They are fucking the rest of us. Mm-hmm. Because they've chosen lifestyle choices that make it so that they're consuming fucking all the resources, because they have to drink 3 Cokes a day, or because you got fucking idiots like fucking Bio Lane and those other fucking idiots who think it's okay to eat donuts 3 times a week. Oh, but it's okay if you count your macros. Go fuck yourself. Okay. Where were we?
600 live listeners just caught your
social media. So why not just I wonder if camps have that. I wonder if like you go into the Think Training camp and Max El Haj is like, okay, everyone, you have to leave your phones at the door. Like you can't bring your phones in here. Like this is phone off time.
You know, there was a point in time in the gym where I was going to have like a
and thank you, DS. I gotcha. I love you. You're a good dude. And thanks for listening to me get all wound up. I've been just battling with Europeans in my DMs, and I love the Europeans too, but they need to get their dick stepped on a little bit. Okay, go ahead.
I'm so opinionated about the cell phone and the social media thing that when I was at the gym, I was going to have everyone download an app that would track their time, and everyone's got it. And I think it's standard in the iPhone now that there's just a tracker for how much time you spent on whatever the hell app you're on. And I was going to have like some sort of initiative sort of plan at the gym, like they have the weight loss plans. Mine was going to be a detox of the social media and cell phone time. I never ended up doing it, but the reason behind it was because everyone's wasting so much goddamn time on their freaking cell phones. And I actually know a guy.
What do you mean wasting though? I really like my cell phone. What do you mean? Like, give me an example of an athlete if you saw behavior from one of your athletes that you'd be like, hey man, that's impeding your ability to perform at your highest level.
I just told you.
Oh, okay.
The athletes that you'll see them doing assault bike intervals, and they'll be changing around the angle of their phone so they can put together a really cool clip for their social media later. It's like focus on the fucking assault bike intervals, and then you know what happens every year? They shit the bed when push comes to shove because they haven't been prioritizing the workout, and then they can make a social media post because they have more followers who will all listen to their sad story.
I think that's an interesting thing though, because I struggle with that too. Like wanting to be a person who experiences the moment in the physical world, in life, be away from the phone, but also we're in this weird state and time period where all that shit is so important. Yeah, well, seemingly important. It's how these people are making fuckloads of money. So I don't know. It just begs the question: is it actually a waste of time if Danny Spiegel can take a picture of her ass and make however much money off of it, or go win an event at a?
Yeah, it's a tool. It depends on how.
I'm gonna get crushed for that comment.
Yeah, social
hey, it's not you who's paying to see your ass. Why would you get in trouble? It's Hiller.
I actually am paying.
Hiller.
Yeah, Hiller's a subscriber.
Hiller.
I'm her 100,000 subscribers at $5 a month.
I've been wanting to check this out. Everyone, brace your Hiller. Are you sitting down? Brace yourself for impact.
I'm not. No, I've been lunging this whole time. What's up?
Fuck it. This is gonna be the meanest thing I've ever said to you. Ready?
Oh.
Interesting that Katrin didn't make the games this year. She probably should have stuck with Ben Bergeron.
That's not mean to me. Are you kidding?
Oh!
How did she do last year?
I don't know. How did she go?
I don't remember actually. Fuck.
I like
wish I knew
Yami. I
that
hate
off
using
the top
that
of
as
my head.
Yami's a great coach, but I just using that because you're like, that's the same argument people are like, hey, Chandler Smith should switch. And it's like, hey, well look, Katrin switched and nothing happened. Got worse.
All right. I'm looking into it. How did Katrin do last
Right,
year? I don't think she made it.
Send me
She
a box
did
of
make it to the
chocolates and I'll
games. She
stop
just
picking on
wasn't-
you.
She just wasn't top 10, I don't believe.
Maybe she did.
Oh, she was at the games.
She was at the game. She finished 10th. Yes.
Hey, I'm
Idiot.
thinking about getting on the Emma Lawson train, like really hardcore. Like maybe like I have this Colton Mertens. No, not get on the Emma Lawson train.
No, sorry. I'm mad at myself for not knowing where she was at last year.
Emma Lawson is incredible. I know what you guys are going to say. It's what Brian said, and it's JR said, hey, look who she was competing against. But still, man, she must be so proud. Her parents must be so proud of her.
That's super badass.
She
17
won.
years old.
Has anyone done that before at her age? Won? Is she the youngest person? I know she's the 4th youngest ever to go to the CrossFit Games. But has anyone her age ever won a competition this significant?
Mel took 2nd last year, right? At Granite Games.
Yeah, and she was 18.
Then yeah, totally the youngest.
It's crazy. Hey,
Stupid
and someone
awesome.
someone in those lame ass comments said something really smart. They said, and if I would have been doing an interview at 17, I'd look like a deer in headlight. I agree. She's well spoken.
Mm-hmm.
They said, how do you feel? She says, I think my smile says it all. It's like, dang, you sharp. You sharp. You talk good.
You want to know what I was thinking?
Good.
I was thinking, imagine being a 24, 26, maybe even a 30-year-old athlete, and then you see this girl come on in and just wipe the floor with all of you. And then, like, how she can do at the games. Let's say she does, like, a 5th place finish at the games. It's like, what the hell are you going to do as a 25 to 30-year-old who's, like, probably trying to win the CrossFit Games? Maybe you're like, oh, I'm going to go beat Tia next year. And then you see Emma Lawson coming up at 17. You're like, oh, well, fuck me, right? She's gonna just wipe the floor with everybody for the next decade.
Yeah, it's emotional. It's got to be emotional head fuck for those who are older and around her. It's kind of like I was gonna make fun of Taylor's knee, but it just wasn't gonna come out right. Yeah, it's got to be brutal. I mean, they asked Carolyn Prevost in her exit interview, what's it like, being the grandma in the bunch? And it's like, hey, man, it's a real deal. This girl can get while this girl will get better between now and the CrossFit Games. Some athletes will get worse.
It's just going to skew younger as it goes on and on. You have the background of CrossFit now. She started when she was 7, right? Like you're going to have a bunch of other athletes that are going to have that same thing. So their pedigree is going to be growing up in the gym, growing up with CrossFit, and they're just going to have more repetitions than some of these older athletes. And as they get older, like Sevan said, it's just going to be tougher on their bodies, harder to recover, not going to move as quick.
You think it'll look like gymnastics?
Yeah.
Where like
I
most
don't
of
think
the
it'll
elite
ever
gymnasts are in their teenage years to an
Yeah,
extent.
I think the 17 to like 20 in the next couple of years will be the sweet spot, and you'll see more and more top 5 people in this. Yeah,
the strength takes. I
don't know.
I mean, not to say that there's not room for them, but
then don't speak, Taylor. Then don't speak.
No, I'm just saying I don't know that I agree.
This is a show for only know-it-alls. Oh, okay, go. But do you see what I mean, she's going to get better in 4 months.
Here's the other thing. So she has been doing CrossFit since what? She was 7 years old, they said?
Yeah.
So she's been doing CrossFit for the same period of time that someone who started when they were 15 and now they're 22 or 23 or 24. So they have the same amount of accumulation of reps, and potentially her body is going to last a little bit longer. But at the same time, I just don't see how her starting younger equates to her having so much of, I mean, you just look at other professional sports. Just because a kid starts football when he's 7,
for sure, burnout and all that stuff. But she's made it past that, though. But she's made it past that, right? I agree with what you're saying, Taylor. But we're looking at one example that's she's made it through. Her, Kerstetter, right? I mean, right? They've made it through the worst.
The burnout. No? She's 17. Yeah. How has she made it to the burnout?
This girl ain't gonna burn out.
What you need, what we need to wait and see is what is she gonna be like when she's 25, 26, 27. Because you see athletes like
Katrin. The waiting game. She's going to beat everybody forever.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just calling it. You and Brian like do this thing where it's like, we're going to see it in the next 55 years. in 35 years, we're going to say that she was the best ever. I'm like, no. I think she's going to be great forever.
Also,
Who,
too,
Hiller? Hiller, are you talking about Emma?
Emma,
Yeah.
I think that next year she's going to be like maybe possibly better than Mal O'Brien.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think she'll take her on this year.
This is the other thing. We're never going to see this kind of thing in the men's field.
Oh shit!
Why do
Really?
you say that?
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's so biologically different.
Okay, there you go. I agree with that.
I think the guys will always skew a little bit older for sure.
When do we fucking catch them? Because it's like that with my friends who have like 6-year-old daughters, and my son's like 7.5. They like run circles around them. Like they can talk them like into anything. The girls are just like more advanced.
You know, this might be a good time to go back to what we were talking about yesterday with the fittest documentary, The Next Generation. Remember when you were trying to talk about Tia and how she said something along the lines of, what is it that she said that you didn't like, Sevan?
Right. Let's play it real quick. Will you play the beginning of that trailer for me? I don't like the fact that she has to justify even for 1 second that she treats this like a professional sport. It's like,
and I have something I want to bring up in relation to that, by the way.
Okay.
So we can play it first if you want.
Okay.
Give me a second.
Are you going to say what Carolyn Prevost was saying, that how she's a school teacher, and how someone else was saying that the Italian chick was saying that she does Photoshop and shit like that? Is that what you're going to say, Hiller?
What I want to say is that she brings up the professionalism of the sport and how like this is her full-time job. She trains her whole life. And I just brought up gymnasts. And I don't know if Taylor or Sevan or Souza, if any of you guys know, but I definitely know people who basically from the time they were 4 years old, their parents were pushing the shit out of them becoming like professional baseball players.
Sure.
And I don't think that someone like Tia had that sort of an upbringing. I don't know for sure, but I don't know of any of the CrossFitters who like they were born, and from the time they were born, it's like, oh, you're going to work with the best coach for this, and you're going to be on this sort of a training regimen. And I know that there's Olympic gymnasts and like the America level at the Olympics.
It's pinned in the game's Instagram. Sorry,
I have it. I have it up. I just don't know how much
like.
But Hiller, we do know that she had Tia had Olympic aspirations before she became a CrossFitter, and I think it was in track and field.
Okay.
Anyway,
I wonder if she was brought up for that. Then that's kind of what I'm saying, though. It's getting younger and younger.
Susie, got to have it up there so that we'll stop talking.
Oh, okay. Well, I just don't know how much of it we could play here. That's my,
No, it's Instagram. You play the whole first part.
No, this is YouTube. Hold on.
Either way. Go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead. Fuck it. Let's play the first 20 seconds.
Craft as a profession.
Go. Start again.
I would.
There we go.
I go to the gym every single day. I treat my craft as a profession. I would argue the fact that I am just as professional, if not more, than another athlete that is going to a sport that has been around for.
What the fuck is she even talking about?
That's what I want to say.
There's no way she said all of that in one take. There's no way she said all. Someone franken bit that together. I just can't see her saying that shit.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I heard that. And I was like, I know people personally that aren't as good as she is, that took it way more seriously when they were being brought up.
She doesn't need to say that.
She doesn't need to say that either.
I agree 100% with you, Sevan. And there's experience or at least examples all over other sports of fucking shithead pro athletes that just clearly don't take their job that professionally.
I put her against any fucking human being on the planet. You randomly pick 10 things out of the hopper. You can pick a dude. I don't care. Like I'm just embarrassed for her that she says that and it comes out like that. She's the gold standard. Mm-hmm. There's no second place in her world or even in the adjacent worlds. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Hiller.
I think we're saying different things, but I do agree with what you're saying.
Oh, and what are you saying? Sorry, I'm getting all fired up. Go ahead. What are you saying?
No, I just agree with what you're saying. But what I was saying was that she's saying that and yet is not as professional, quote unquote, and has been doing it as the other athletes have. For what I was trying to say through their upbringing. To what I know, which I suppose isn't that much.
No, you know a lot. You know a lot.
I appreciate it.
And we know you know a lot. Can you pull up the leaderboard again, Souza? Going to Patrick Velner, I heard I don't know who it was. It was either Joel or Mr. Conway say that he missed his first rope jump, like the same thing Medeiros did.
Exactly the same.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta
Did
log
you guys,
off here in a second, guys.
did you guys see that?
Yes.
It didn't send him that far behind though at first. So and he kind of laughed about it. Pat kind of laughed about it and shook his head as he ran back off too. Did you see that?
Well, what did you think about the fact when he
Velner.
grabbed his chalk and he dropped it and he went back for it and lost another
Classic
second?
Velner. That's just kind of what he does.
I actually thought that was more of a hang up than the missed rope climb at first for him right there. It threw him off his rhythm for sure on that run.
I gotta head out.
Where are you going?
Hey, Taylor, you don't have to. You could stay, buddy. Stay.
You can stay.
I got dinner with my mommy, man. She's leaving tomorrow morning.
All right. Thanks for coming, buddy.
Bye, dude.
Later.
And then there were 3.
All right. Hopefully we get someone to call in. Who we got? Call in Connor Duddy.
I think that he was pissed when that finished. I think he really wanted to win that. I think he's
for
pissed.
sure. Yeah.
You know what my biggest pet peeve was?
100%.
Is that the females, and it's fine because they can do it, that they can put chalk in their freaking bra straps.
Well, you could throw it in your pocket as a dude.
Not on that workout, not really. I
guess
they're gonna go in and out of their pockets over and over again, and I guess you can't really compare the males to the females.
You could wear a strap on your arm. You could wear a bra if you're a dude. No one's stopping you.
I think it was Marie Robin at Strength and Depth. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
I actually think that Pat Velner getting second place this weekend is going to make for a scary Pat Velner at the games. Like I think he's going to go back, and he's a veteran in it too. So who knows where he is in his training program, and how Frazier would always say that he's not even peaking, so he shouldn't be winning some of these things. Maybe Pat's training is somewhat of the same there too, but I think it's going to fire him up coming into the games, like the taste of the second place.
Hiller said that it's classic Velner, and this guy is giving some examples to back up what Hiller said. He missed the rope. He steps on the line. He falls off the rope ladder. Still doesn't know how to swim. He's basically saying like this is.
Every one of the comment sections like we're a sports bra. You put it by your dick. It's like,
hey, maybe there's $1 million idea there for men. Something where men wear something on their arm where you store your chalk.
A little chalk holder.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a fanny pack. That's what they call it. There.
Yeah,
someone said it.
Joseph Medina. All right. Oh, and it could be called the bro. It's called the bro, and it holds your chalk. The bro.
Hey, where's my chalk, bro?
God. I bet you Dick Butter's such a funny person in real life. I bet she's so, or she, sorry, she's so.
Yeah, don't
creative.
assume. Don't assume.
They slash them are funny.
So we do agree that Pat was pissed. It wasn't enough for him to go. He wanted to win it.
Yeah, for sure.
Nicholas Joel ends up doing what he needs to do. 23, 24, 25 points over Austin Spencer. Took third in the rope climb. That's just a dude handling his business, especially since Austin Spencer got sixth, only 3 seconds behind him.
Austin Spencer is a good dude. He's been around a long. He's been around a while, and he's very fit, and he's always like right there, 6th through 10th, as far as qualifying. So he was close. He's almost like a Nick Matthews sort of guy, where he's just like right behind Colton Mertens at every competition.
I've been watching too much CrossFit when I start knowing the BKGs and the Scott Pancheks of the semifinals. I do not want that information getting stuck in my head.
Look at this one, the chalk blocker.
I would like to say this,
point.
Hiller. One of someone DM'd me and said, "Hey, you have to let the burpees go for women. Slamming the titties on the ground hurts."
I guess I can't speak to that, so I don't know. I have plenty of female athletes that I know don't complain about it though. So
yeah,
and they all hit their chest on the floor.
Coach Hiller has spoken. Oh, I want to show you guys something. Can you bring up the Vindicate
balls
website? Can you bring up the Vindicate website? Yes. You have any new shirts coming out, Hiller?
Yes.
Okay, we'll go over and look at your shirts right after this.
I'm not sure it's up yet. I don't think it will be. We got 2 actually, to my knowledge.
We got 2 also.
All right, we're gonna have to battle it out.
The
CEO Plus shirt is out.
If you would like the CEO Plus shirt, it is available for pre-order, and for your 4th of July, the CEO American shirt.
Oh fuck!
And
That's
for
good.
some of you, for some reason, who are confused, I've always been a huge fan of Pride Week and the Gay Pride Parade and all that shit. I love doing all that stuff growing up and partying through college and high school and as I got older. My only issue with those fucknuts is they know how to party. I love them to death. That shit does not belong anywhere near kids. Like nowhere near it. There was nothing.
What doesn't belong to your kids? Fireworks?
Fireworks and
Fireworks
and,
as well,
and
lighter.
pride parade and pride shirts and all that shit. That's
Fireworks
where you
and
go.
pride parades don't belong to your children.
No,
Oh, I'm
Thank you,
missing your
Hiller.
point. Sorry.
I'm just saying, people like get confused. They conflate the issue. They think that just because I like to party at the gay pride parade, that I think it's okay for it to be at my kid's elementary school, and it is not.
Oh,
It is
I
not. Just
follow.
like fireworks aren't okay at my kid's elementary school. Thank you for pointing that out, Hiller.
I'm just making
And,
sure.
and for those of you who are conflating that, and by the way, for all the gay people who fucking DM me and support me, which is all of you, it's like not one of you has been like, hey, you're an asshole. Like, you get it. And I appreciate you and I love you guys for that. And let's party naked. Okay. When my kids are away at summer camp.
As they should be. There you go.
Oh, and so Hiller, your shirts weren't there. I only talked about my shirts.
They're not up yet, no. But
Okay.
they'll be coming out before the games. There's a games twist to them.
Do you have to be 18 of age? Yes, both shirts. You have to be 18 or older.
There's a waiver you got to fill out. when
That's
you buy it.
awesome. That is a fucking great idea. My pride shirt should be 18 plus. Travis, 18
sure-
plus for that one. Have like
Yeah.
a box check.
Put
Put
it in
a comment
the
above that.
description.
Yeah, it's the sex shirt. It's the genitalia shirt. And I'm gonna change. I'm even gonna call it the pride. It's the genitalia flag. As a married gay woman, I appreciate what you're saying about gay pride stuff, Sevan. Thank you. Oh, and you're a fucking cop. Thank you. From my family and my boys and my kids and everyone I love who needs the street safe. Thank you.
Hey, Sevan, if you
What?
keep talking about this stuff, remember I got a couple of guests for you to bring on possibly.
I know I'm gonna have that. I started
Oh,
following
boy.
both of them. I'm pumped.
I know. They told me they were excited.
Okay. I want to go over and look at the women at Atlas also. Before I go to my kids' tennis today.
Boom.
Hiller, we have to get scheduled for next week for the Hiller review show. We haven't done that either. I don't think I have anything scheduled for Friday.
I don't think you've ever
Yeah,
scheduled
Friday's
one of those
open.
for me. You're just like, hey, dude, you're free in 10 minutes. I'm like, yeah, sure, let's go.
Hiller, how
We shoot
dare
from
you?
the hip. We shoot
I'm
from the
in
hip.
the middle. I'm in the middle of something real important.
I call Hiller.
Alexis, I gotta
like,
leave.
9 o'clock my time, 11 o'clock his time, and I'm like, you want to do a show in 6 hours? He's like, okay.
Whatever you want, Mister.
Emma Lawson, Paige Powers, love Paige Powers, huge fan. Caroline Connors, I didn't give her much attention this week. I saw her. I think I could pick her out of a crowd now. Freya Brugger, congratulations. Your name is awesome. Carolyn Prevost does what she has to do, takes 8th. I'm excited to see all these ladies go. I would have really liked to have seen, I know I didn't mention her name much, but she's someone that I've known around the community forever, Tori Dyson. Although she is young, she has been around forever. And it would have been nice to see her go. And thank you to all you guys for putting on an amazing show. Paige Powers. That's what I wanted to ask Houdet. I wanted to ask Houdet about the 150 GHDs twice a week. I wanted to find out what he thought about that. I'm kind of hung up on that.
I think you need to ask every athlete you have on the show about that.
I will. Oh, you're not joking, right? It's a good question, right?
No, I'm dead serious. You should ask everybody.
Yeah.
Because I am knowing that the OPEX methodology doesn't like that. And I think that it's totally necessary that they do a certain number of GHD sit-ups a week.
What do you mean they don't like it? Explain that to me.
I know that they had like a number that they had to hit, and I think it was 100 to 150. And then that was only when it was approaching competition season, quote unquote. I know that they had them kind of planned out to an extent. Susan, don't you have an OPEX cert, or is that Brian?
No, I don't have an
Right.
OPEX cert, but I'm familiar with
Brian. He can probably speak to that better than I can.
What's a NARP?
Then you rat on somebody.
No,
I
that's
don't
what
know,
the
Google
C.
it.
Susan,
NARP.
how many GHDs do you at your affiliate? Do they do GHDs every week? At least some, or no?
No. We have literally one GHD, and our average class size is like between 11 and 15 people. So
Do you remember the
So it's
backlash from last year's quarterfinal
Hold on one second, Hiller.
workouts?
Hold on one
Go ahead.
second. So that GHD is only accessory work?
yeah,
your gym?
exactly. And there's a
Okay.
few people that have, competitive aspirations, and they kind of get it off to the side just because if you're going to compete, you do have to build some capacity in the GHD. But it's not, that's the number 1 and 2 thing that you get Rhabdo from, right? Eccentric pull-ups and GHD sit-ups. Like, you could really jack yourself up from them. And anybody that's done a bunch of them without any capacity knows that
That's the thing right there.
Everybody's got a GHD story, right? Like the first
Hey,
time
I'm
you
not
get 'em.
joking. I can go into the gym after not doing GHD and just do 5 and the next day be so fucking sore. It's not even funny.
No.
I'm not even joking.
And in all seriousness, when people go, hey, and they ask about it and we show them, how to properly do the GHD, the first thing we say is like, do 3 sets of 10. It's going to feel like you didn't do anything at all until like 2 days later. And then you're going to be real happy you only did 30 of them when you're starting to like hold your abs. I mean, the 150 in the quarterfinals last time, you remember that?
180. 180
people up. Yeah.
Is that what you were going to say, Hiller? Is that what you were going to bring up?
Correct. Yeah. And I remember all of I don't want to like get with the program under the bus, but they were like super against it. And I know TEF was super against it. And I was like, this is fucking awesome. This is going to throw all those people who don't do enough GHD sit-ups under the bus into the freaking ringer. And they're going to learn their lesson real quick.
Yeah.
Damn.
And then they're probably also all going to go to the hospital. So I understand why they were saying it. The first gym I ever worked at, the owner, I remember when I met him, he had just gotten back from the hospital from doing GHD.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
it's like the immediate Rhabdo inducer if you do too many too soon.
Yeah, it's the eccentric piece because you're always in contraction, so you're always contracting, and at the same time you're going backwards. Same with the eccentric pull-up. Everybody gets their biceps jacked up with eccentric pull-ups a lot of times.
He looked like he was pregnant. Swear to God, his stomach never looked the same ever again.
Oh, I've heard stories of that happening at the old Santa Cruz gym in the early days. People's stomachs getting so bloated and fucked up afterwards.
And they never looked the same.
Yeah. Start with
Paige
30.
Powers was exposing her training on GHDs in front of Emma Lawson. Never share your training program to anyone. Always don't downplay what you do to your competitors. I think that mayhem thing is just so known, but good stuff. Okay, could we cruise over?
Go to the hospital. It's free.
Let's cruise over to strength and depth. Yeah, at least if you need to go to the hospital, it's free. Yes, not free, free for you, but not free for everyone else.
Depends on how homeless you are.
Jacqueline Dahlstrom, we saw her in the drug tank along with Emma McQuaid and Sam Briggs. They were nice enough to call us earlier. We got to get Helga Daughter on the show. I'm so crazy impressed by her.
Yeah,
impressed,
she's awesome.
Hiller? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was listening to another podcast talk, and do you know how many times she's been to the games?
No.
Can you click on her profile? Scroll down. Just pull it up for everybody. Wait, or is that little tag up there?
Yeah, 6 times. Wow.
Yeah, right. And I know she made the final cuts the one year where they cut down to 10. And I remember that was the first time I was like, how many times has she been here? And she's been there a lot. And she's
look at that picture of her. She's one of the prettiest women in
12,
in 15, the world,
16.
but that picture doesn't show it.
The one that the game site
I want to know who chooses those pictures.
Yeah, somebody.
Did they choose those pictures?
It looks like I chose.
Well, you can tell she chose her profile picture compared to that one.
Yeah,
she looks great in the profile one. Which looks good in both of them, but yeah, not exactly the most flattering pose.
Look at that, 2012.
Yeah,
15,
12,
16,
15,
17,
16.
19, 21. It's pretty awesome.
Wow. Top 10 finish in 19.
That was the year with the cuts, yeah.
Crazy. Okay, let's go back over to that leaderboard. Poke around, and as we get down there, the big story obviously is Katrin David's daughter taking 6th place, going last chance qualifier. We know Sam Briggs isn't going to do the last chance qualifier. Do you think Katrin even tries the last chance qualifier, Hiller?
Of course.
You do? You do think she does?
Yeah, are you kidding?
Yeah, I'm kidding. I see her as maybe.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
I see her maybe as being too prideful. Maybe.
No, she'll be doing the last chance qualifier. I think it's just Briggs who said so far that she's not doing it out there, right? Just like right away. Did you see
don't think she would just be like, okay, I'm going to
something?
buckle down and start working towards next year. I'm not fucking around with this last chance qualifier.
Yeah, she might do 2 pegboard climbs this offseason.
Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, man.
If she doesn't go in this year, is that the downfall? You think that's it? You think she ever recovers from that, comes back to be a serious contender at the games?
It'll really speak volumes to seeing what she can do a year with another coach. Because she's only been out of there for 6 to 8 months. And she had such a long time where it doesn't appear as if they were working towards making a better version of Katrin.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
What?
The comment. Katrin no Rhabdo or the last stand. Oh,
you know what I really like? I like the capital N, capital R in no rep. It's like its own little thing. It's like CrossFit, but that's nice.
Gosh.
People are picking up on it. No rep daughter.
I was hearing some pretty vicious rumors coming out of there from Strength and Depth. I can't get them verified, so I shouldn't say them, but it does not sound like she was in a good headspace. It does not sound like she was in a good headspace.
You don't want to say them. You can't say them, and
I need
also
them
say that you don't
verified.
know how
I mean, I
veri-
can tell you that she sounds like she wasn't in a good headspace. I'm super
Like she's
duper
over it. Like she just isn't in. She doesn't have the same fight she used to. She's not hungry for it anymore. You mean?
No, that there was some entitlement issues going on that just didn't seem like healthy, like stuff that like a hungry warrior doesn't have.
Hmm.
I am super impressed with her final workout. She took first place. It's exactly what she had to do.
Mhm.
And I think it shows championship mindset.
Mhm.
Hillary, give her some love.
sled dog.
All righty. And so Hillary, you say she's going to try last chance qualifier. I say no. Do you think she's going to make it, or are those workouts conducive to someone of her?
If they look like last year, she could be taken out of it by the lift alone,
Oh, wow.
depending on what the lift is. Because it was so tight at the top last year, and they only take the top two. And like we keep on hearing, it's not as shoe-in by any means with all the athletes that are in the. I mean, look at the athletes you have in the last chance qualifier. There's so many great athletes in there.
Cody, this isn't Katrin's first relationship. She was celebrating pretty openly that Street Horner was putting it to her for a while, and there was a ton of good posts. They look beautiful. They look like a beautiful couple together, and now she is with the hockey dude, the retired hockey player, but not her first relationship. I think that anyway. Just thought I'd let you know.
Street's the most like unspoken about male athlete ever in the sport of CrossFit, I believe.
I would like to know. I would like to hear a tell-all story of his and Katrin's relationship if he wants to come on. I would really
write a book.
I would really like that. I seriously would really like that. There's that a few things interest me more. Maybe health insurance. Okay. Let's cruise over so is that it? Did we do the men in can I go play tennis now with my kids?
You just want to hit the men real quick, just peek at it.
Yeah.
And then just peek at it.
Hiller has
We had
15 topics. Oh yeah, we already looked at these guys. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm excited about this guy. Guillaume Briand. Oh, and poor Yanikoski, man. I'm gonna tell you that shit. When people like him don't make it, it makes me feel old as shit.
Changing at the guard a little bit, huh?
He's only 27, man. Aren't you twice as old as he is?
I am, but I am exactly twice as old as him. But he, but he's a staple. And so when you see him, that means just him not making it and Katra not making it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just coming to an end of an era.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah, but Sam Briggs almost
new
made
names.
It.
Hey, dude, Carolyn Prevost could be Emma Lawson's mom. She was probably dropping eggs at 14 or 15.
That's one way to put it.
I mean, that's what's happening. That's what's happening in the sport.
32 to 17. I mean, yeah, all right, whatever. I guess she could be. There's a world.
I mean, I haven't done the math, but she probably could have birthed two of those girls.
It's the only type of math you know how to do, right?
Yeah,
the birthing math.
Birthing math. Is there anything else you would like to talk about before we get off?
Give me a second. CrossFit Nordic Original, 6th.
Oh, are those the guys we had on the podcast?
Yeah.
Okay. So after all,
they missed it by 5 points.
Oh.
And they had the guy on there who's just like the substitute. They had to take the substitute dude.
Correct.
Damn.
Yeah. I'd love to find out how much he impacted their shit. Like if they'd be like, yeah, we did. Oh that my goodness!
Interesting.
Look who took the team that took first there. They cleaned house.
Oh, that's badass.
They pulled the mayhem.
How the hell did I miss that? Awesome. Could you click? Do we see who's on their team?
It shows on the profile, right? Oh, all the way at
wouldn't
the bottom.
Wouldn't that be awesome if it actually showed who's on the team?
Yeah, if it was easy to find, right? Here's our competitors here. Do you recognize any of those names?
No.
Oh, you do see him. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, you just got to go all
Brian would pop. Oh, now we see our sponsors: Monster Hydro, O2, all of Sevan's favorites.
Hey, I do want one of those cold tubs. Ingrid Hodenmeyer. Is that a dude or a girl? Oh, it's a girl.
Let's see. Just had a games appearance, 2 regionals.
Man, they
I
slayed
bet
it.
Brian. I bet Brian knows like everything about them, where they were born, what they ate for breakfast. And here I am just not knowing anything about him.
Oh, okay. Go. So Atlas Games has a seminar staff on their
Apparently, the two girls on this team were teamed up with Kristen Holte and won Lollapalooza against the Mayhem girls. So that's a big deal.
Oh, that is a big deal.
They
Okay.
beat Andrea Nisler and Taylor Williamson, and was it Haley on their team too?
Yep.
That's a big fucking deal.
Let's go look at that's huge. Let's go to look at Atlas Games real quick.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Is this the team?
Yep.
And click that CrossFit Omnia Black. Let's see if Pete Shaw's on that team. Do you know there was a while where they were going to make it so anyone who works for CrossFit HQ couldn't enter the games, and I was totally against that.
Oh, Mary Kay. I know her.
I don't see him.
She's a Chicagoland former athlete.
I must be looking at the wrong. Wrong. Guys, tomorrow morning, just so you know, Jordan Levitt will be on the show at 7 a.m. Who is Jordan Levitt? He's a UFC fighter. He's been on the show 2 times before. Coming up in UFC 276, he's fighting Paddy the Baddy. If you don't know who Paddy the Baddy is, then you're probably not a UFC fan. He is the biggest thing coming out of fucking Europe. They say he's going to be the next Conor McGregor, but he is going to go up against the Sevan podcast favorite, Jordan Levitt. He's also known as the Monkey King. He's the only male in the ring that I've ever seen twerk and do all sorts of other fun stuff. He is a wild man. And Jordan Levitt is a knockout artist, a submission artist. He's a very special man. So he will be on the show tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. to talk about his huge fight coming up at O2 Arena in London. And in the evening, scheduled for the 47th time, we have a guy, fucking cartel motherfucker, who spent 80 major fucking drug kingpin motherfucker who spent 82 days in the hospital with COVID, unconscious, lost 50 pounds, 60 pounds when he's in there. And now he's getting juiced up on the TRT program, and he's already got the pellets on his hip. He's 38 years old, almost died from COVID, and I'm dying to know how his progress is going.
How long has he been doing it for? When did he get
just
put
a couple
in?
weeks. Couple weeks.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Here he is. This is Jordan Levitt. This is who's coming on tomorrow. Yeah, look at him.
Interesting.
Such a stud. One day there will wait. Let me see that. Let me see that. One day there will be an openly gay male UFC fighter. No, Jordan, I think you are it. No, I'm joking. He's not. Look at, I commented, smash Patty. Oh, 203 likes, Susan. You see that shit?
Oh, damn. Look at you. 11 replies.
Yeah, player.
Not bad.
Hell
Not
yeah.
bad. Not bad.
Jordan looks like he's from Chicago. No, you mean Madison. No, Madison. You got your cities mixed up. Oslo was second at the games last year. Okay. So Santino is saying that they're real. They are the threat. It's not. They're the threat to make.
What are the odds that they beat the Iceland team?
High. Right now, high. Right.
I can't speak to that, but I just hope they do.
Oh shit! Look on the bright side. Catching will get to make another "I'm out" IG post. Holy shit!
Dick Butter's ruthless.
It's pretty
Holy
good.
Shit, that is good. All right, guys. I will. Don't anyone cry. I will get Hiller scheduled this week to do a weekend review with Hiller. I think that will be on Friday. We'll probably have some surprise guests Wednesday. We have Hunter McIntyre, and I will beg some other cool people to come on too. Peace and love.